this is Sam, the Frugal Hugel gardener, and this morning I'm in my growing room, and what I'm going to do is I already started and I said let me make a video. I'm taking my sweet potato slips that I put in water. They went ahead and formed a whole lot of roots, and I'm transferring them into pots. So I already started, and I wanted to do some on video because I had part 1 and part 2 of doing the sweet potatoes in dirt and soil, so the slips would grow, and they're growing beautifully. And I'll show you those in a minute. But right now, I want to go ahead and repot some of these like I just did. Let me put these over here. Okay, those are out of the way. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a pot right here. And I got a bowl. What I normally do is if I got some soil left over from a different job, I'll just go ahead and put some in the bottom like that. And it's always good to have a bowl around. You can put your soil in. And this is seed started soil, but it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out a slip. Look at those roots. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and white and long. That looks just really good. I'm just going to go ahead and pull off that leaf and that leaf. I'm just giving it a little twist and pulling it off. And now this is what I have left over. Now if you want, you could cut that if it's too long for the pot like this one is. So let me get my scissor. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of the roots are right up here, and right over here there's some, but it's too long for the pot. Do you see that? It'll be sticking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up the stem right over to here, and I'm going to cut it. Now I have this part with roots and this part with roots that came off of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section here, and I'm just going to put some dirt in here. And I used it. I put that in there. There's roots on it, so it should start growing from there. So I'm just going to put it like that. Put that right there. Now I'm going to get another pot right here. Take all the dirt out. Start over. Crush up the dirt. Put some in. Now I'm going to take this one and place it down in there. So, just like anything else, you want to make sure it goes down deep and all the roots are in there, so you can give it a twist like this. You don't want the roots coming out of the top, so if you give it a twist and push down those roots, in other words, go like this, put it in there. And now those roots are all in. And just take your soil, put it in there, and just do this right here. That's it. It's planted. Beautiful. So I'll put that right there. I'll take another pot right here. Take another one out right here. I just shortened it up. It was long like that, so I shortened it. And now this is going in the pot. Going in the pot like that. Okay, Simple as that. Of course, I'm going to have to water them in a little bit. But for right now, okay, here's another nice one. There's a lot of roots on the bottom one, so I'm going to snip this right there. And I'm going to put this in. Make sure those roots are facing down. Okay, lovely. So, a couple more to do on this one. Same thing over here. I'm going to cut this bottom one off. Right there. I'll cut this leaf off. Okay, and that leaves me with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the pot. Just like that. Now I woke up this morning and I grabbed my coffee and I started watering my plants over here. And mind you, it's like 4 in the morning. Can't go outside and do anything. Today's supposed to be a rainy, storming day. So I says, let me come in here and take my slips and pot them. There's no sense letting them get root bound in here because I want them to form in the pot so then I can take them outside, harden them up and plant them. So I started working and I said, I need to put this on video. Okay, so here I am. Sometimes I do things and I forget to put it on video. Speaking of video, my other camera, when I'm outside, you may have noticed on some videos, it fell in the lake, it fell in the mud, it fell in the puddle, it fell on the concrete, it fell in the garden, it hit things, and finally it started going on the blink. I'd be videoing and the screen will get jittery, you know, my viewer screen, the LED, and it was on its way out. So I just purchased a new camera. This is what I'm videotaping it in. This is the first video off of this camera, so hopefully it comes out good. And these little cameras nowadays, they're expensive. It's like $550, and then I had to get another $200 in accessories just to do this and show you how I do it. Not complaining, it's just I figure I'd buy a camera and it would last. Well, when you're out working every day and you try to put the camera on your tractor, you try to put it next to a banana plant or in the garden, it falls on the trellis as the wind comes, bam, it knocks it over. Even with the tripod, it just things happen. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off right there. I'm going to cut this leaf off right there. Got plenty of roots. I'm going to put it in the pot and put dirt all around it. Okay, like that. So now it's laid out on my table over here, just like the other one. And I don't want to forget what it is, so I have these marked as purple. So let me mark it. So I'll put one there that says purple, and I know this whole row is purple. For those of you that follow me, you know why I use a graphite pencil, but for those of you that are new to the channel, I use a graphite pencil on all of my labels because if you use a Sharpie or any magic marker, when you put the label in the garden, the sun will fade it and you won't know what it is after, you know, a month or two. If you use a graphite pencil, the whole season, towards the end of the season, it's still going to say what it is. It doesn't come off, and it's hard to wipe off. To wipe it off, you got to use rubbing alcohol, and it's hard. So graphite pencil to mark all your labels. You're going to love it. Now, all the supplies I use, I got a link below. Click on it. It opens up a PDF, and it will show you what I'm using, a link to the product, a photo, and a description. And it helps out my channel because I get credit for it off of Amazon or wherever the link goes. See, so I mark it, so I'll put this one here, and I'm going to do all of them, but for now, what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some dirt in here. Here's my last purple. I'm going to go ahead and clip it right there. And this one's a small one, but that's okay. Just that little bit of root is going to turn into a nice plant. Now, the reason why this one was the roots were a little smaller is because every couple of days I come in here and I go over there and I snip a few more off and I put it in the water, and then it starts growing. So the ones with a lot of roots were in there first, and I keep snipping. When you snip, they just keep growing, and then you put them in water. And I'll show you those in a second. Let me just put these up here so I don't lose what I'm doing over here. All right, so now I'm left over with a few of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cut the bottom off right here, and I'm gonna put it in, and I'm gonna take this one right here. I'm just going to put it in right here. And I'm going to take this one right here, give it a cut. And this one here, I don't think it has anything on it, so I'll just leave it. So right there, I just planted all those in there. Okay, so that was the purple. So now I have these right here. This is orange. The first one I did was orange 1. The second one was orange 2. And if you look at the leaves, look at that. They're totally different. They're both orange. See the leaves on that? And the leaves on this one right there? Look at that. The leaves are totally different. So, this orange one came from Georgia and this one from South Carolina. So, in your orange sweet potatoes, there's different varieties. Go figure. But anyway, that's why I bought 2, and I'll show you those. I'll show you all those in a second. And I just snipped them yesterday, but I'll go ahead and take one out, show you the roots, and snip it. But for now, I want to get some of these planted. Okay, so this one, when I put it in there, it was just 3 pieces like that. When I took it off, it was 3. You see that? And that was just like a couple days ago. It just grew. So what I'm going to do with this is right on the bottom, I'm going to snip this off. And I'm going to pull this one off like that. And I'm going to give it a snip like that right there. And now this one has one here and one there too, but that's okay. I'm putting that in the pot just like this. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to put a little hole in here with my finger, And I'm going to put that down in there, make sure it goes all the way down. And I'm going to put soil around it. Okay, that's planted just like that. And let me write down that this one here is orange 2. I mark it and I'll put it in there. And this one I'm going to put in this tray because this tray is getting full and I don't want to mess them up or mix them up. Okay, so I'll put some in there. I'm going to take this right here, put it in. I'm going to take the roots, I'm going to put it in just like all the others. I'm going to put the dirt all the way around it. Bam, it's done. So I'll put that over here. Now I need some more pots and I need some more soil. So I got some right here, but I got to go around and get some. So give me a second. Okay, back. I'm addicted to caffeine. I have to have my coffee in the mornings. So, okay, here, I got some pots. These are all cleaned and sterilized. When I pot them like this and bring them outside to harden up, then I take out the plant and plant them. I bring all these back to the porch. I'm talking, I got like 500 of these. I bring them to the porch and I put them in a solution and I clean them all. I dry them and I bring them in the house. I got a video on how to sterilize these. I also sterilize the labels and I sterilize my carrying trays, everything, because I don't want to bring in any pathogens. So, anyways, here we go. I'll take some soil. Okay, this one I just put in, and it's already growing roots. I just put that in there like a day ago. Same thing with these. I just put them in there, and they're already growing. And since the roots started like that, it's okay for me to go ahead and do it. You don't have to leave it in there till the roots are humongous. So I'm just going to take it right here, put it in the soil. Just like that. Okay, where's that other one? Right here? Okay, this one's forming roots. You see that? So I'm just going to take that and squeeze it down in here, like that. And I'm going to pack it around that. Okay, once again, I'll have to label them. Okay, so these two, I'm just going to leave in there, let the roots get a little bigger. And I'm done with these over here, except for before I put them up there, I'm going to have to put them in trays, and I'm going to have to water them. You see they're in a lot of water right here. So water them, saturate that soil so it's dripping out, and then it'll wick back up into the tray. Well, it'll get messy if I try it here. So let's go down over here and I'll show you my other ones that I did. Okay, so right over here, these are my heating elements and wires, but right over here, that's orange 1, that's orange 2, that's white, and that's purple. And you can see the difference in the leaves. Look at this. This is orange. That's an orange sweet potato. Look at those leaves. This is an orange sweet potato. Look at these leaves. You see they're totally different. But anyway, that's what my sweet potatoes look like. I fill the tray up with dirt. I put the sweet potato all the way to the bottom and dirt halfway up. And I keep the soil moist. And this is a probe. I keep a heating pad on it. Now these are ones that I went ahead and planted. You can see that they're doing well. They're coming up. Okay, so here's a little secret of something that I do. I took this same bowl and I filled it up with water. And what I do, and I'm going to show you right here. Get that out of the way, get these pots out of the way. Is I take my plant and pot, it needs to be watered. So all I do is submerge it in the water like this. And you see the pot's filling up with water right there? So I just submerge it, put water in it. See it draining out? It's watered. If you got to water it from the top when you put fresh soil in there, you know, peat moss and perlite, it's hard for it to go down. But this way it just goes ahead and waters the whole thing really nicely. Because on these plants, you want it watered good. So it drains out really quick. And then when you put it in the tray over here, it just drips in the tray. Just like that. Okay, let me get this one. Could put a little bit more water in there, it's going down. See it coming out? And the rest will just drain into my tray I have over here. Let me get this out. Okay, let me put this one in there, one more, and then I'll do those others. Just like that. Now when you do that, you're taking out a lot of water, so your bowl goes down over here. So you just have to keep adding water. Okay, so let's finish these up. Now these are the purple. I'll just submerge it, lift it up, and let it drain. Okay, that's watered. And I'll do the rest. Now, when I do this method outside, it's easier. I can fill up a big bin, have all my plants on a big tray like that, and submerge the whole tray and do all 24 pots at one time. But for the video, I'm doing them individually, and I don't have a big bin in here, so I'm doing it individual like this. But outside, here, let me put this one down first. Outside, I take the whole bin and I would submerge it in the water. Okay, I don't have, okay, all my bins out. Well, you know what these bins look like. They're just, I got plastic on it so it don't, right here, so it don't drip down, but it's one of those bins. So I submerge it, lift it up, the whole bin's done 24 at one time. So it goes a lot quicker, but in the house, if you don't have bins and you don't have those trays, you can water your plants just like this. Now this one, there's water on top. See, it's not draining out as quick. This was drier soil. Here you go, now it's coming out. Okay, these were all those little ones, the stems that didn't have any green on it. So there's like 5 in here, 4 or 5 in here now, I forget. I'll put that there. Okay, that's done. One more purple. Okay, that's done right there. So now I have my orange right here. Orange 1. These are the lighter ones. Okay, so I'll put the orange there. Orange, one more to go. There you go, this is the last one. And then I'll take one of those out and I'll show you how I separate them. Okay, so I got those done. Now, let me get a towel. Okay, so I keep paper towels in back of me so I can clean off my little work area here. Okay, so I just cleaned this off. I wiped it. It's basically a cutting board, but I cleaned it off and wiped it with some paper towels because I need to go ahead and mark some of these. That way I don't forget what they are. So these are orange 1. Okay, so now I have all these labeled. They're in the tray. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set them right over here on my light table. They got plenty of light. They have plenty of water. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and separate a couple. Okay, so right over here, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so right over here, I have my sweet potatoes with slips on them. Now, I went ahead and I've been clipping them so there's not a lot on there, but there's a few. And so what I'm gonna do is, okay, right over here, I'm just gonna take one of these long ones like this, and I'm gonna clip it. This is an orange 2. Now I'm going to take some of these leaves off like this right here, because I'm going to set it in water. Then all I'm going to do is just drop it in the water like that. So now this one over here, this is my white. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to take this one off, cut that leaf off and that leaf off. And this is a white, so let me mark it. Let me get the water. Okay, so I'm just going to drop this in water like that and mark it. This is a white. Now, of course, I put a sticky note on it so I know what that is. And this one over here is a white as well. So I'm going to go right down here and I'm going to snip it like that. And I'm going to cut these bottom leaves off. Okay, so all I'm going to do with this cut all those leaves off. Remember, you don't need all those leaves. You just want it to grow roots. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put that in the water like that. And then this one right here, and this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and slip this right here, just like that. Just like that. I'm going to put that in the water. Don't need that much water though. Just like that. Okay, so that's how I snip them. So let me put this back now. I got a heating pad on it. Okay, so I went ahead and placed all of these right up here under my LED light unit on the shelving. I put them there so they could go ahead and grow more roots. So once those root, then I could transplant them like I did some of these and what you just see me do into pots. And the reason why I put them into the pots, so the roots could grow in a root ball inside of the pots. And then I'll take them outside and harden them up. And once they harden up, I'll take them over to my sweet potato bed and I'll plant them. They're already in the dirt, and I'll put a little hole in the soil outside, put it in and cover it up, and they're set to go. You could probably just take them like that and put it into the soil, but I kind of think they're going to do better when they're already potted in potting soil and it's moist and everything. You put them in the hole and that root is not disturbed. So anyway, hey, this is Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener, giving you an update on my slips that I went ahead and put in jars with water. They grew roots, and then I went ahead and potted them. And once they pot, another video will be outside planting. So hope you enjoyed.